Hello, humans. Allow me to ask you a question. Have you ever walked out of a movie theater once the credits started to roll and thought to yourself, well, that was a movie? That's basically the reaction I had after watching Cocaine Bear, a ridiculous horror comedy loosely based on the true event of a black bear that consumed several kilos of cocaine after a drug drop over the Tennessee wilderness. The movie follows a motley cast of characters as they enter Blood Mountain National Park for either one of two reasons: to retrieve the lost cocaine or to rescue some kids lost in the park, all the while doing their best to avoid the coked up black bear. It's clear from the very beginning what kind of movie this is going to be, so my expectations weren't very high. I wasn't looking for a cinematic masterpiece, especially not from the likes of Elizabeth Banks. You remember her, don't you? The Hunger Games, the Lego Movie, Pitch Perfect, directing that Charlie's Angels reboot that no one saw, and getting punked on stage for throwing shade at Steven Spielberg. As much as that last part gets under my skin, I can give credit where credit's due. I can say I laughed a good deal, and there were moments that were so over the top it was impossible to not react. Then there were moments that were so predictable that you were waiting with anticipation for the inevitable to happen to some poor bastard. The CGI bear was just good enough that you could accept what you were seeing on screen. When it was going full tank mode and tearing people to bits, it was passable enough to make you cringe, and when it was rolling around on the ground, tripping balls on cocaine, you could allow the laughter to take over until the next bloodbath came on screen. I can't say much about the acting, or the script, because it's not the kind of movie that needs a deep analysis in order to understand what you're watching. I will say the editing felt a tad choppy at times, but that's about it. My only fears with this film are as follows. 1. The success of this film will inflate the ego of Elizabeth Banks, especially when you consider how well it's going up against the likes of Ant-Man 3. I wouldn't say no to watching her make an ass out of herself at another award show, but in the end, the juice wouldn't be worth the squeeze. And 2, this could potentially spawn a slew of sequels like Sharknado. The last thing I want to be watching is Cocaine Bear 4 in 10 years, saying to myself, the first one was so much more elegant and thematic and full of hope. Not even I can get that messed up. To wrap this up, Cocaine Bear melds comedy, horror, and gore into a mildly amusing movie the likes of Snakes on a Plane or Ghost in the Darkness, if you factor in the based on a true story element. If you're out with some friends on a weekend and you all have a good collective buzz going, this is a movie worth your time. Kind of thing you'd watch on a Friday or Saturday night. It's 90 minutes, it's rated R, and if you switch your brain into low power mode, you'll have fun.